Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, P Fong, Thinking Right, out here in the lab. In a new book, we're doing the mysteries of ISIS now. Let's get with the program. This is some good information. I'm going to start from chapter 2 because there's a whole bunch of, I call fluff that we already know about, talked about. But this is some good information, so this we're going to start at. All right, let's go. Rightism. 25 rules live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to, know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. That's my mission. That's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. Yep, that's what I do. A person who knows not, knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock, here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to Maya, be true. Right thinkers, we in the new book, The Path of Wisdom to Immortality and Enlightenment, according to Maya. And this is the part 2. Who is the first and chief being, according to the mysteries of Isis philosophy? Let's see what she putting down. All right, let's go. Got a few pages of information, good stuff here. This is called the introduction. Who is this first and chief being? Referred to in the Shitak Aset philosophy. Okay, that's the true name. Aset. Isis is the Greek name. It refers to the transcendental, absolute, supreme being we know as God. But how is this supreme being to be discovered? He's hidden. Where? Out there? Nope. In here. The divine must be understood through philosophical training, learning. This requires a process by which a spiritual aspirant, you right thinkers, you first listens to the teaching and then you reflect on the mystical meaning contained in the teachings. This section, I'm about to go through now, part 2, will explore, watch this, explore and understanding of what? Of God from the point of view, right here, of yoga. And it will provide a means by which the intellect can be gradually purified and made subtle so that it may partake in what? The wondrous resurrection which the goddess imports to all those who ponder over what we call sacred matters of the heart and seeks therein for what? The hidden truth where there lies in the heart. That's your mission. That's what you're on, to find who? Your true self. Let's go. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. And this process that we're doing is accomplished now. How? By acquiring the knowledge which the goddess invites us to what? Seek after. as being near and dwelling continually with her who I set. This implies that spiritual studies, right here, spiritual studies must be continuous. The phrase is, you learn, you obtain knowledge from the cradle to the grave. And this tells you right here, your studies, your spiritual studies must be continuous if they are to be effective. You can't do it haphazardly, willy-nilly, every now and then, or when you feel the mood strikes. No. When done continuously, it will be effective. That's the change that you'll have when you do what you're supposed to do. Persevere and put the work in. Now, in the Yoga of Wisdom philosophy, this means that you are developing the art of what? Of continuous flow of thought. I call it God consciousness. Christians call it being prayed up. But it's the ability to keep the continuous flow of thought, God, of the teachings, no matter what you are doing. Stay focused on God. Not to walk around hooping and hollering, raising the roof by God. No, just stay focused on Him. You keep Him up here. That's where He is. And you may be, watch this, you may be doing the dishes. Think about God. Walking. Think about God. Eating. Yep. Think about God. Eat, sleep, drink, etc. God. That's being God conscious as a right thinker. That's all I'm saying. You ain't got to run around and acting a fool, be a fan or cheerleader for God. No. Keep God on the mind. And even at these times, watch this. Even at these times, you must continuously to remember your teachings. And when you succeed in maintaining this constant flow of righteous thoughts, right thinking, right there, towards what? The divine, your higher self, you will personally achieve what they call the third stem of the Yoga of Wisdom, which is what? You will have purified your mind so as to continually what? Meditate. Meditative state of mind, that's what we reach. Continually meditate on what? The divine. I call it God consciousness. Okay? Y'all call it Christ conscious. Pray it up. What you call it means nothing to me. You doing it makes all the difference in the world. Trust me. Now, in this process, watch this. This process will do what? Will eradicate all egoism. That's how you conquer your ego. Okay? And you will now discover for yourself the highest reality within yourself. That's it. That's what you're trying to do if you're a right thinker. And this is the path of wisdom. So you must study when? Daily. What? The teachings presented here. And then you must begin again to what? Self-reflect on what you have learned. To learn something and not to use it. Why are you learning it? Moving on. There are 3 other important books that I read and have been read in the series of wisdom studies. All these books are intended to give you knowledge of self from the perspective of the yoga and the mystical spirituality from the Sima Yoga book series by my man Dr. Muata Ashby. And this is the books. The Osiris Resurrection, good book. The Ancient Egyptian Bible, okay, Book Coming Forth by Day, or the Book of the Dead. The mystical teachings of the Osiris Resurrection and the Egyptian Proverbs, all good reads, all good information. Trust me, I got them all. The book, The Mystical Teachings of the Osiris Resurrection, it contains what they consider the mystical teachings that's given to who? That was given to Haru by who? His mother Aset, who initiated him in the mysteries of what? Life. I'm giving you life lessons. This is where I got him from. And nurtured him in preparation for what? For his battle with who? You ready? His uncle Set, his ego self. He had to be prepared. He had to be trained. That's what we do for you. And thus, watch this, the study of these important teachings will do what? Will complete this volume most excellently. Why it'll put it all together for your nice little neat package where you can understand it, identify with it, and then use it. Better yet, question. Who is God? Everybody asks that question at one point or another. So, according to ISIS mysteries, let's see if I can break that down for you right quick. This is a good question. See if I can get the right answer for you. All right. Who is God in the light of yoga? Remember, yoga is a philosophical concept that you can follow to find God. Okay. The Sima Yoga book series, which I have, is the product of years of what? Research and spiritual practice. Same time I put in doing what I'm doing now. It has produced several volumes treating varied subjects related to what? Ancient Egyptian yoga and what they call the mystical religious philosophy. Religion means something you're doing daily. Okay, understand that. So whatever you practice can be a religion. This volume will focus on expanding your understanding of the idea of God, right there, from initiatic yogic viewpoint based on the mystical teachings of our ancient Egyptians. In this book, it's called The Hidden Properties of Matter. We introduced the idea that the word God is merely a metaphor for that which transcends all human categories of thought and all mental concepts. And at this level, your spiritual aspirants, right thinkers, need to delve deeper or deeply into what? The descriptions of the attributes, right there. The God and Goddess attributes of what? God, regardless of the form presented, be it male, female, presented to you zoomorphic or anthropomorphic, okay? In any effort to develop your understanding of the subtle implications of the what? Religion and the myth are seen as what we call, subtle implications of the symbols. There you go. I wish there's something that worked there. You get the subtle implications of the symbols and signs and the myths, the stories, as they are representations of the truth, rather than as the truth itself. In this regard, religion and myths are seen as what they call psychomythology. Everything for understanding, so you can get a mental understanding, a clear understanding, not a belief system. It was a gnosis system you need to know. And through what? Daily study of the ancient myths and the insight from the initiated understanding, you getting clearer understanding of the teachings so you can practice them. And the idea of God is clearly expanded from what? This just the dogmatic, mythological comprehension to what? Now is a metaphysical, mythological experience. That's what you want to have. And then this metaphysical understanding is related what? Straight to you. You have to have it for yourself. The student, you the student. So now what? You can now begin understanding your true divine nature. That's the purpose of religion, to get you to do just that. Understand who you really are, not to lead you down the path of BS. The idea, watch this, the ideas of God in various religions, watch this, has ranged from, watch this, I'm a jealous God and no God before me. That's somebody's idea of God, who destroys entire civilizations, Sodom and Gomorrah, okay? No good people there, I'm destroying it. So, this God who destroys entire civilizations, now if they do not comply with what? His will, God kind of not a good dude to others. Watch this. Now he will display an idea wherein God is the good principle, philosophically, while the devil is what? The evil principle, philosophically. but they both exist. Why? You can't have one without the other. That's why, conceptually. Other views have held that, watch this, God is female. My favorite goddess is my aunt. You know that. Or that what? Humanity originated as a product of aliens who visited Earth in ancient times and deposited life on the planet Earth and then left and claimed to come back. Oh, you didn't go in there. You didn't touch that. Why? That makes not too much sense. Okay, so moving on. But the idea, again, Anu means air. Okay, spirit. Naki, Nak means flesh. Ki means earth. So you got spirit and matter come together. It's all symbolic, okay? I just get that lesson. Well, I just watched the lesson, so I ain't gonna try to get it, but it's everywhere. The symbolism, okay? The symbolism between God and earth, that name Anunnakis, okay? We are all considered what? From spirit to matter. Spiritual beings having human experience. That's the example I'm trying to show you where it comes from. All right, where was I at? Humanity, okay. Now these are all, again, these are all attempts to explain what they consider, what, the unexplainable. But facts that creation does somehow exist. We're here. Well, whatever means you consider, everybody got it in the beginning, but nobody was there. So everybody got a theory, everybody got a concept, everybody got a philosophy, which is fine. Moving on. And because the sense perceive it to be is beyond the grasp of what? The human mind to really comprehend. Whatever we can't comprehend, God. Whatever we can't do, God. So we give it to the higher power. Okay. However, these are just attempts. And these attempts have led to various misinterpretations, which has led humanity to various forms of misunderstanding, as well as conflict among religions. If all religions has got the same principle, do the same thing, why they at odds? Presbyterian, Christian, Holy, everybody, but they all claim to do the same thing. Moving on. And there's conflict amongst religions, which what? With different views. Some see their idea of God, again, as the only proper and correct one, while others see their ideas are more inclusive and encompassing. Your idea, your philosophy, your belief, whatever, everybody's entitled. I tell you, you got two men. One believe in God, one don't. They both right. In their own rights. That's what they had the right to do. Believe or not believe. Their choice. Moving on. I'm almost done. Yeah, I'm almost home. Now, where we at? Okay, I'm on incumbency. But the original meaning of the Latin derivative from the word religion, again, let me read it to you again, is to rejoin. Rejoin who to what? Your human concept to your spiritual concept, your true higher self, the God that's in you. And the essence of true religion, this is what the purpose is that linking you back, specifically linking its followers of said belief back to their original source. We've been doing that in Egypt since forever. Netter, aka God, okay? Although religion in its purest form is a yoga system. Ding, 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 ding. Why? It's the philosophy that you practice, that you implement. That's why. And it relies on what? Uniting your individual conscious, this, with the universal conscious, your higher self, universal cosmic conscious, the original intent. This is where it started. Meaning of the scriptures are often misunderstood by the fallen followers, outside followers, namely the Roman Catholics. If not distorted, again, misunderstood, misinterpreted, or just corrupted or distorted. But this occurs. Why? Because religions have developed in different geographical areas, and the elementary levels of religion, the historical accounts, the stories, the traditions, okay, And they all are just that, stories, traditions. And they all have been developed independently. Even in Egypt, we got Amun and Waset, we got Ptah and Memphis, and we had Ra and Anu and Anu. So they all had different philosophies, but they did the same thing. So I understood that. But right now, everybody got different perspective, different concept about God. And watch this. And mainly, they all at the elementary level, meaning it's just dogma, it's just words, it's just the rituals. They don't practice it and they don't experience it at the third level. They pretty much at the first two levels. They're going to talk about a whole shout up a bunch of verses and this, that, and third, but ain't living none of them. And it's all at the elementary level. And all religions tend to become theistic. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, it gets annoying, which is deism. As a religious belief or a form of theism holds that they say God's actions was, watch this, restricted to one initial act of creation, and after which he retired and separated to what? Contemplate the majesty of his work. I totally disagree with that philosophy. Simple. If you tell me God is not in his creation, I don't want to follow nothing you got to say after that, personally. So that's why. And deists, they hold that what? The natural creation is regulated by what? Laws put in place by God, really, at the creation time, and inscribed with perfect moral principles. That's the Maya philosophy. That's what but that's not what the religion's doing. I can tell you that. Okay? Wrapping it up. Yeah. It is complete. Religion, when done properly in its complete form, religion is composed of three aspects that makes it work. Watch this. The three pillars. The mythology. The story. We all know that. Everybody got that part. That's the elementary part. The ritual. The acting on it, the practice of it. And a lot of people just think going to church is that. No, living it, practicing the tenets that set forth that you learn and put it to use in your daily life. And you will have that metaphysic, that mysticism, that what? That experience that you become connected to God through the lessons and experiences that you practice. That's the mystical experience that most Christians or other belief followers don't reach. Why? They get stuck on the second level, just going through the motions. And while many religions contain rituals, traditions, and they are metaphors and myths, there are a few professionals who are trained in the understanding of their deeper aspects and the psychological implications that the metaphysics and the mystical experience is all about. Someone who have it. Simple as that. If you have the experience, shut up. Thus, there is a disappointment and frustration and a whole bunch of disillusionment among many followers of all religions, as well as most of their leaders within many religions, particularly where in the Western Hemisphere, it is difficult to evolve spiritually without the proper spiritual guidance. Many followers of religions, especially from your Roman Catholicism, which is Christianity, filling out of touch with the church, synagogues, or the temples have left it what? Feeling guilt and a deep sense of what? Loss. Why? Through self-search and research into the origins and the evolution of the religions, it is now possible to what? Discover mythological vestas within all the religions, which can lead to what? Greater understanding. But the exoteric the elementary level, the outer ritualistic forms of religion, which we are mostly familiar with, is only the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. It is only a beginning to a deeper discovery of what they call the transcendental truth of existence, aka knowing thyself. And religions, if religions properly understood and correctly practiced, most would provide a suitable system to yoga and to unite their followers with who? With God. If it's done correct, that's the goal, that's the purpose way. And why? Because the deeper aspects of all religions lead to the same goal. Told you, God. If your religion ain't get you to God, you got the wrong religion or you're going the wrong way. When a religion is adopted at a level of ritual and traditions with the idea that it alone is correct and all others are false, all bets is off. The result is discord, disharmony, okay, animosity, and further adopting a religion on your superficial level by simply memorizing certain verses. A ritual does not produce what? Transformation for your personal self of consciousness. It ain't teaching you nothing. You ain't learning nothing, which is the true purpose of religion and yoga. If there is no self-improvement in one's level of peace, serenity, confidence, happiness, vitality, honesty, love, and other such good qualities for oneself, then there is no religion occurring. That's the problem with a lot of religions. And due to lack, here you go, my favorite, wrapping it up now, I'm taking you home. Due to lack of self-knowledge and true understanding about the deeper purpose of whatever religion you practice, Christian, Muslim, or Jews, religions have been the basis of most conflict throughout the world. And for many years, this has prompted what? Many people to speak out against religion. I don't practice it for that purpose as a cause of what? Strife among the people who are misguided, misled, and misinformed about that religion. And some even become, watch this, upset at the mention of God because they think those who are speaking of God in a manner other than that which they are familiar or displaying forms of mental illness or blasphemy. Others have proposed the idea that religion is an excuse that some people use to escape reality and the responsibilities and the problems of the real world. Picture that. While others lose themselves in the religion on what? That emotional level, they just think it's all about church, seeking trances or communion with spirits. Okay, is there any real basis to religion? And if so, how can religion be a benefit to mankind? If practiced correctly, it can be. If misunderstood, misinterpreted, and misused what has been doing, a destruction. We know that. Again, I'm wrapping up the lesson. Hope you got it. Oh, I got plenty more. I just want to stop right now. I'm watching the clock. I just want to get that information to you. I'll be right back in a few minutes. But in closing, right thinkers, may y'all let it be 100. Me, 100 minus a day. So I've never let my right thinkers have passed away. I'll be right back.